everyone. Good morning. Welcome to this week's episode of BlueSync. Can you guys see my screen okay and hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Good, thank you. All right, today we are going to be covering listings to leads and some different ways that you can do social media posting, whether you're someone that likes to do kind of a set it and forget it type of thing, or you want to actually go in and kind of do a little bit of the work. There's a ton of different options. So we are going to go over all of those today. So I always like to log in to listings to leads by going through Moxie. So I'm logged into my CB desk here. I'm going to click into the Moxie work square. And then I'm going to go to my profile icon in the top right-hand corner. And when I get that drop down, I'm going to go to where it says external links. And then down towards the bottom, there is a link to listings to leads. And sometimes it will take you to this page. Other times it will take you to your credentials right here, ready to log in. Just going to hit log in there. And here we are. So of course, it's going to open me up right into my dashboard. The first two things that I'm going to cover are going to be more of that kind of set it and forget it type of posting. So if you're someone who wants that, then this will pertain to you more. And then the last thing that I will cover will be more of a kind of you going in and doing a little bit of the legwork. So to get started, I'm going to use this left-hand navigation menu and scroll down a little bit to where it says profile. And then across the top here, I'm going to go to this tab that says auto posting. And from here, I'm going to make sure that my account is connected. Keep in mind, you do want this to be a business account, or if you are an admin, a office account. You don't want it to be a personal page. And you also want to make sure that it is toggled to on. So mine is off because we do not do posting from listings to leads, but you do want to make sure that that is toggled to on if you are wanting to utilize the auto posting and having your account connected properly. And as always, click that save button if you are making any changes. And if your account is not connected here, it's really just a couple clicks to do. You just have to sign into your Facebook account and then give it access to posting. So it's only a few steps that you have to do there to get connected, and then you are ready to go. Next, I'm going to move on to where this listings is right below the page that we're currently on. And this is going to be where you can actually customize what that auto post is going to look like each time it goes out. So the first one that it opens up to is just the basic customizing it for each platform. This is going to be your basic listing post. Now, most of us use Facebook. However, there is also the platform X, formerly known as Twitter, as well as LinkedIn and Instagram here that you can use for posting. I'm going to mainly focus on the Facebook today since that's what we are most familiar with. And as far as making these posts, it's really pretty simple. So these boxes might not have anything in them over here to the right. And if they do not, you're just going to click on this green copy and paste button here. And this is going to automatically kind of build out a post for you to use. Anything that is within these brackets, so there's a couple things here like the status, the city, a couple different URL options, the description, that's all going to pull automatically from listings to leads from the listing that it gets through the MLS. So anything that is within a bracket, you don't really want to touch unless you're wanting to completely change the way that this post is going to look, then you're welcome to do so. But anything that's within a bracket is going to automatically pull from the information that is given in the listing. But if you do want to make some little edits, maybe change the wording here or there, anything like that, you do have the ability to do so now. You just click in here, type, delete, add different emojis, whatever you're wanting to do. And then of course, hit that save button up at the top. Now, the other thing that you can do, which is really cool, is you can customize these posts for each status. So up here at the box or at the top, there's a little box that you can check that says customize for each status. And if we check that, you'll see it opens up a ton of different options for us. So these are all the different statuses that you can create automatic posts for. So we have a coming soon, a just listed, open house, active, pending, just sold, and price reduced. So the other cool thing is you can choose what of these statuses you're actually posting. So if you look here, there's a box right at the very top that says enable auto posting for this status. So say you only wanted to do just listed and just sold properties posting, you could toggle all the rest of these options off, and then you would only get those just listed and just sold posts going out. As far as creating the post, it's the same process as before. You just hit this copy button and then pull this over here. If you want to create your own post, you can do that as well. But anything that is in this text box over here is what is going to go out with that automatic post every time. Keep in mind, this is a post that will go out for every listing with that status. So you do want to keep this verbiage here really simple and not too specific to any certain area or anything like that in the event that you do get some different varieties of houses, property types, all of that stuff. So once you do have all of this set here the way that you would like it for the different statuses, again, you're going to want to make sure that you hit that save button to lock in all of those preferences. I'm going to uncheck that because we do not use the auto posting for this office. So I'm just going to uncheck that so it doesn't save anything. And that is the first way of kind of doing that set it and forget it type of posting on social media. Super simple. Once you kind of do this first legwork, then you are good to go for, the rest of time unless you change what your preferences are. So next, I'm going to show you another thing that is kind of set it and forget it, but it looks a little bit different. And that's going to be the social content posting through listings to leads. So on this left-hand navigation, I'm going to go to where it says social content. And what this is going to be is more of that just kind of basic generic content that people post on their social media. So if you're someone who wants to keep up a good social media presence, you want to be posting, but you don't want to have to do all of the legwork of finding those posts and actually posting them all the time, this is a really good option. So you can see here we're in the calendar for April. We're obviously towards the end of the month, so there's not a ton showing up here from the past dates. I'll click over to May. So this is a better representation. So all of these things are like automatic posts that can go out. You have the ability to completely schedule these, which I'll show you in just a moment. But as you can see, this is a really good way to kind of build out your social media page if you're wanting to post more often, but you aren't wanting to actually go through and do the posting yourself. So the first thing that you can do here to kind of tailor this to your specific wants and needs is by clicking on this topics button right here to the right. And this is going to give a variety of different options of kind of topics or content areas that you can have posts from. So we have PDF guides. If you're familiar with listings to leads, they make a variety of quick little guides for homeowners, sellers, buyers, all of that good stuff that's just informational. They also have holidays. So they have international holidays, random holidays, which I always think are really fun. Home design. So this is all different rooms of the home and home improvement stuff that you can choose from. Quotes, home and outdoor, home maintenance, fun, handmade, real estate. There's a ton of different options. And within each of these little boxes, there's a ton of content with them. So for example, in the home design area, if I click on kitchen design here, it's going to pull up all of the different posts that are associated with that kitchen design that would potentially be integrated into my automatic posting if I chose kitchen design as a whole to be posted onto my page. Now you do also have the ability, of course, to come in here and look through these and toggle them on or off if you do not wish for them to be part of the auto posting. So maybe there's some topics that you just don't like or you don't want to include. You can go through and toggle them off so they do not publish to your page. but there is a ton of content here. And like I said, just a really good way to kind of show your personality, add in a couple more posts, but also not have to do a ton of legwork behind it. Tia asked a question about, does the office get charged a fee for using their content? I do not believe so. Only if you do paid advertising through listings to leads. You do have the ability to do that. I'm not going to go over it today because very many people don't typically use it. But if you do have a ad account that you want to connect to listings to leads, you can pay for advertising that way. But all of this auto posting stuff should not cost any money to do for an office page. So if you do want to just do as a whole, you like all the topics, or maybe you just don't really want to give enough time to go and look through all of the topics for kitchen design, for example, you would just click this here and it would activate that as a topic to post onto your social media. And it does also give you recommendations of kind of how many of each kind of genre to pick from. So home design, it says 5 is recommended, quotes 1 is recommended. You obviously don't have to follow that. You can totally do, whatever your preference is. Some of you might want to post more often than others, but that is just kind of a general recommendation there. So lots of good content here to choose from. And then actually picking when that stuff is going to post, you also have the option to do, and you do have the option to create your own topic. Totally forgot about that. So if you have a kind of genre of posts that you want to upload into listings to leads that you have made yourself, or maybe you've had marketing make them, you can create a topic. It'll ask you to name it, and then you can upload a title, a cover image for that topic. And then you can upload your own content into it, and those will also be included into your posting schedule as well. So that is an option too. Now, like I said, going into actually choose when these things are posted, you do have control over. We're going to go into our settings here over on the far right. And of course, make sure that there is a social account connected if you are wanting to use this. We're going to go to where it says posting schedule. And it's really pretty simple. So you just click the days that you want it to be posted. They have all the days laid out here. So you can do as few or as many days as you would like. And then you also choose the preferred times for those posts to be published. So it starts at 8 a.m. and it goes all the way through the night. But you do have the full ability to kind of choose when those posts are going out. And then it does also give you just kind of a brief summary of what you have chosen in case, you for some reason had something clicked or selected that you didn't want. So it tells you we will publish 2 times per day, 3 days a week. So like I said, you have complete control over that, which is super awesome. It's a very, very nice thing to be able to do that's a little bit more involved and gives you a little bit more of an opportunity to show your specific style, but is still kind of a set it and forget it type of thing. Okay. Another question, that means pick 5 within the kitchen design. It would be just 5 within the home design. You can choose as many as you want though. So if we're looking back at our topics, so pick 5 of these kind of topic areas is what it's saying. But like I said, you can totally tailor that to, your preferences. You can pick 1. You don't have to pick any from home design. It's really just how diverse you want your content to be that would be auto posted. Okay, so like I said, those are the top 2 kind of set it and forget it type of things. The other one is more involved where you actually go in and post the content, but the post is actually made for you. So we're going to jump into that now. I'm going to go over here on this left-hand navigation to where it says listings. And this is going to be where we actually market specific specific properties. So all of our properties, of course, feed in from the lovely MLS. And you want to make sure that the status is accurate to whatever the status is on the MLS at the time. So you can always update that by just clicking this drop down. And then we're going to go ahead and click this green market listing button. And from here, we're going to go to the third option down where it says social media post. Note up here, Facebook and Instagram ads, that's where you would go if you did want to do paid advertising through listings to leads instead of doing it directly through Facebook. But if we click into our social media post, you can see it has a nice little post built out here that you can completely edit to however you would want it to look. So if we just click this edit post, we could change any of this wording, take out any of these hashtags, do anything you want to do there. You can also edit the image. So it's going to just pick a very basic default image. There's a ton of different ones to choose from. That's going to be kind of the main cover image for the Instagram or Facebook post. So you do have the ability to switch that out if you would like. Of course, hit save once you do have that selected, and then you can also preview the post to make sure that it looks exactly how you want it to. So you can see here, this will give you a full rundown of everything that will be included in the post. The share tool is going to be a landing page. That means that when someone clicks here on this image where the property information would be, it's going to take them to a pre-built property website. We've done trainings on the landing pages before. They're just a property website that is geared towards getting leads, of course, since it's through listings to leads. So they will be prompted to enter in their information, which turns into a lead for the agent. But it is a really nice looking page. So that's just kind of telling you what the, what the page is going to be that they're going to click on once they click into this property information. So like I said, this is kind of a little bit more work than just the set it and forget it, because you do have to come in and do this for each individual listing or sold that you had. But if you wanted the post to kind of be pre-built out for you, save you a little bit of time, this is a good option as well. And you do have the ability to either schedule it or go ahead and post it now if you want to send it out directly from here. Does anyone have any questions on that? I haven't seen any new ones in the chat, but I'll give it a moment.
Bailey, I've got one for you. First of all,
Yeah.
great job explaining all this. You're such a good teacher.
Thank you.
We have been given some guidelines for social media posts that Michigan or whatever require, such as having the agent's name, having realtor underneath it, our logo, if they use a separate logo, you know what I'm speaking of about.
Yes.
Is this in compliance with that if we were to use this and post it on our page, or are we going to get in trouble with this?
This should be compliant. I don't know, Carrie, if you're on, I'm not sure if she's on or not, but these posts should be.
I'm here. I'm here. Sorry. Can you repeat that real quick about the compliance question?
Yeah, Carrie, I was just, oh, go ahead. Go ahead,
No,
baby.
go ahead, Dawn.
Carrie, we've just been given some guidelines as far as making social media posts, saying that the agent's name has to be on there. It has to say realtor. It has to have their address. It has to have our logo if they use their own logo. I was just wondering if this post is compliant with that, if we use this on our social media.
So the page itself has the information you need with logos and such. We always reference the listing agent, so that would need to be added to that post. But the rest of the content would be applicable and fully within the guidelines. Great
Perfect.
question.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
So yeah, just make sure that if you do have specific listing, or not listing, but posting guidelines for your area, that they are covered. Like Carrie said, our pages themselves are up to date with all the compliance stuff, but you would want to make sure that the listing agent was added to this specific post itself. Any other questions? Social content area, it looks like it selects everything. Yes, so back in the social content area, this is where we pick our topics. So for each specific topic, everything is automatically selected in that. So if I selected kitchen design, for example, then all of these would be included in a posting rotation. They're going to be sprinkled in with everything else that you do choose. So it's not going to be like one after another. But unless you toggle these off, specific ones that you wanted to include, then any of these in this specific category would be fair game to be posted automatically. I think that answered the question. If not, unmute or type in the chat and let me know. All right, well, if that's it, then thank you for joining me today. I hope that this was beneficial. The recording will be up on the video classroom later today. Thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time.